Hello and welcome everyone, this is Type V3 and today we're going to delve into the world of 3 3/4 inch action figures. Starting with the Marvel Universe line, this is Steve Rogers. Now for those who don't know who exactly this character is, let me start off by showing you somebody a little bit more familiar. Yes, he is the man behind the Captain America costume, and for comic book reasons, more or less, he stopped wearing the suit and now wears it again. So with all that out of the way, let's get on to the actual figure itself. One of the first things you'll notice about this figure is his absolutely incredible paint scheme. It may just be a blue jumper with red and white accents, but the fact that they added the black wash in conjunction with the shading is just wonderful. Even his head, which is pretty simple in design, is accentuated by the beautiful highlights and the perfectly dotted in eyes, which is very hard to come by on a 3 3/4 inch figure. Now, the muscle definition on Steve Rogers is pretty comical, but when you consider that his character is at the peak of human physical condition, I'll let it slide. I also love how the boots, gloves, belt, and leather straps are all the same brown. It just helps to unify the entire color design of the figure, and it works really nice. Steve Rogers' posability is just as impressive as his paint job. To start things off, he has a ball-jointed head that is on a hinge. Unfortunately, this hinge is not painted the same color as his skin, so it can be quite infuriating to look at, but he can put his head in some strange positions, so that's the plus. He's got universal jointed shoulders, a bicep swivel, a single jointed elbow, and a wrist swivel. He's got the upper chest on a ball joint, so you can do some ab crunches and spin it, as well as a waist joint, so even more crazy poses can be attained there. Each of his hips are on a ball joint, which are pretty stiff, and this belt here does sort of get in the way of the movement. There is a thigh cut, double jointed knees, and there's even a calf cut where his boot is. His ankles have some tilt in them, and they can go back and forth a little bit as well, so there's a pivot included. Some interesting features are these straps. These are totally removable if you so choose to take them off, but honestly I don't see why you would. And the belt here is also it's a separate piece. Now, I like to keep it down covering this waist joint right there. But the problem is if you put it right along the joint, then he can't really turn, so you got to keep it just under it. And then the problem with that, of course, is these straps here sort of hinder the leg's movements, so you kind of have to play around with this in certain poses, but overall I like the fact that they put it there as a separate piece. It just adds to the overall detail of this character. On the accessories front, this figure does come with a stand, or base, but interestingly it says Commander Rogers when the box of this figure says Steve Rogers, so don't know what's up with that. He also comes with a pistol and, of course, an assault rifle, but no shield, so if you really want one of those, you're going to have to add one as a later accessory. Now, both of his hands are molded with a trigger finger, and he can hold each gun in each hand, whichever way you choose. Both firearms are made from a semi-hard plastic that should hold their shape over time. The pistol is detailed with some nice silver paint, but the assault rifle is rather bland and just a regular black. I am disappointed that there is no way to store any of these weapons on the Commander Rogers himself, especially that pistol. I would have loved to see a holster anywhere, his waist or maybe on his upper torso, just something. However, when you utilize all his articulation and all his accessories, Steve Rogers can pull off some pretty incredible poses. And it doesn't really matter what kind of pose you put him in, even anything that's out of character, he'll always manage to look cool. And that's really impressive, because sometimes there's these figures out there that just always look dumb no matter how hard you try to pose them. Also, you can give him a shield to give him more of the Captain America type feel, and he definitely looks cool holding one of these as well. Now, for as much as I've praised this figure, he definitely has one big issue, and that's his quality control. I went through a couple of these guys before I wanted to purchase one on the store shelves. As you can see, the star in the middle of mine has some sort of flaking or chipping on the white paint, and as well, it also has minor bleed-through on the blue through the white chest and the skin color of his neck. They're all very minor, but they are little annoyances. As a whole, Steve Rogers is a fantastic example of what Marvel Universe has to offer. This is a must for any casual or completist collector out there, and if you see him on store shelves, make sure to pick him up. Anyways, this has been Type V3, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.